rights of women in Islam. As far as the social rights of women is concerned, I divided into 4 subgroups. The social rights of a daughter, the social right of a wife, of a mother, and of a sister. When we come to see the social rights of women as a daughter in Islam, we find even in today in the world, there are many societies which kills the female child, and female infanticide is a big issue in the media. Even in Sweden, I was shocked even in last year that in Stockholm, a mother, she aborted her child twice because it is a female. And the third time, when she wanted to make the abortion, the doctors, they put the restrictions that no, it will cause harm to your health. And then I was shocked to see this. The Sweden had to appoint abortion register to note down how many abortions are taking place in a year. And the gender-based abortion is just newly permitted by the parliament, that it is permissible for a woman to abort her child due to gender. But the Quran, it gives the answer. Allah the Almighty, it says in Surah Takwir chapter 81 verse 8 and 9 that when a female child was buried alive, she will ask the questions on the day of judgment that for which crime I was killed. Not only the Quran forbids to kill a female child, but the Quran also forbids killing of any male or female child. Allah the Almighty says in the Quran in Surah Naim chapter 6 verse 151 and Surah Isra chapter 17 verse 31 that kill not your children for the cause of sustenance, for it is Allah who gives sustenance to you and to your children. The Quran is always emphasized to be good to the daughters. So not only we are prohibited to kill a female child, but even the news of the female child, when it comes to the others, we are also forbid to be sad. The Quran says in Surah Nahl chapter 16 verse 58 and 59 that when the news of a female child was carried, one of them, meaning the father and the mother, she or he becomes sad that what a news it has been brought. Should I let her to live in this miserable life, or should I put her death? And Allah the Almighty says, what an evil choice they have made. This is an evil choice. The father and the mothers, especially in many society, they become happy to see a male child. As I was giving the example earlier in Sweden, this is from the local 16th of February 2009. That the doctors, they got upset when they have to make abortion of a child due to the gender. And we see the Quran, and it comes to the Hadith, the narrations of the Prophet, peace be upon him. There are numerous examples of upbringing the daughters. The Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, says in a Sahih narrations in Ahmad, volume 2, hadith number 2104, that if anyone among the believer have uplifted 2 daughters with their meanings, with their bodies, and with every means, if he take care of the female child, he will be in this much distance in the day of judgment. The Prophet, peace be upon him, have noticed his 2 fingers, meaning they will be very close to the Prophet in the day of judgment. See the respect that has been given to the daughters in Islam. We see now about the aspects of a wife, the social rights of a wife in Islam. In many societies, in the past civilizations, the woman or the wife is considered as an evil. But when it comes to Islam, the Quran refers the women as a muhsana. It is the fortress against the evil. If a wife is good, she prevents her husband from doing immoral activities. And And in Islam, it is obligatory for men and women to have a family life. If we see the consequence of the present societies, especially the West, hundreds and thousands of people, they are not engaged in a family life. See the divorce rate. One of the highest divorce rates in the Europe is these Scandinavian countries. See in America, because there is a lack of bondage between husband and wife, people don't find interest to live a family life, to have children. But the Quran emphasizes, the Hadith emphasizes about this. The Hadith of Prophet Muhammad is mentioned in Sahih Bukhari in volume 7. In the book of Nikah, the book of marriage, Hadith number 4, once the Prophet, peace be upon him, he entered the mosque, there was a young people who were discussing. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, addressed to them that, "O young people, whoever among you have a means to marry, you should marry, because the marriage will prevent you from doing immodest things." And we have to agree that the evil of the society, adultery, fornication, homosexuality, and there are other evils, it is due to the lack of discipline in the family. Allah the Almighty has clearly says in the Quran about the nature of male and female. In Surah Rum chapter 30 verse 21, He says that among His signs are the creations of your mates, the mates of a male or a female. He put tranquility and love and mercy between their hearts so that you live in tranquility. And the Quran refers the marriage in Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 21 as a sacred covenant. It's a respect to each others. It's a sharing of feelings to each others. It's an understanding of two human beings. The Quran emphasizes always emphasis of a father, of a mother, of a children, of a family life. So a woman is not allowed to marry against her will. And this is already in the Quran. Allah the Almighty says in Quran in Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 19 that Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, O you who believe, La yuhillu lakum an tarisu an-nisa'i karhan, that you are not allowed to inherit the women against their will. For marriage to solemnite, it has to be the agreements of both the male and the female. No father or the guardians of a female child or a girl is allowed to force her daughter to marriage against her will. And there are examples, numerous examples from the Hadith. The Hadith of Bukhari in the book of Nikah, Hadith number 5138, and in the recent is 669. The Prophet ﷺ, there was a woman who was given married by her father to a man which she does not like. So she went to the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the Prophet ﷺ nullified the marriage. And there are other examples in Ibn Hanbal, Hadith 2469. There were a young lady, she was forced to marry the man, and she went to Prophet, peace be upon him. So the Prophet given her options that either you can continue the marriage or you can separate. And the Prophet ﷺ also encouraged the man to be good to his wife. It's mentioned in Ibn Hanbal, Hadith 7396, that the best among you is the best among your wives, and I am the best among my wives. So this comes to the status of women given as a wife in the social aspects in Islam. As far as the leadership is concerned, as I told you earlier, it goes to the shoulder of a man. Allah the Almighty have clearly says in the Quran, in Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse 228, that the men and the women have the same right in an equitable and a justice matter.